The internet is on fire, and fans can't believe their eyes. In a shocking turn of events, a private, intimate clip of Yandy Smith has gone viral, and just when the dust was beginning to settle, another explosive video surfaced, one that has shaken the entire love and hip-hop fan base to its core. Caught in grainy, yet unmistakable footage, Mendeecees Harris is seen physically lashing out at Yandy in what appears to be a violent outburst triggered by the leak. The clip has sparked outrage, confusion, and an avalanche of speculation across social media. What really happened behind closed doors? Was this an isolated moment of anger, or the terrifying reveal of something much deeper and darker? As whispers of betrayal, revenge, and emotional breakdown swirl, fans are left wondering how everything unraveled so fast. Once considered the power couple of reality TV, Yandy and Mendeecees' perfect image has crumbled overnight, exposing a raw, painful truth no one saw coming. Sources close to the couple claim things had been spiraling for weeks, but no one expected this. Stay with us as we break down everything: the leaked clip, the violent confrontation, the fallout, and the questions that now threaten to destroy this iconic couple forever. It all began late Thursday night, when a short, grainy video began circulating on Twitter and TikTok. At first, no one could tell what they were watching. It was dark, shaky, and only a few seconds long. But once viewers enhanced the frame and pieced it together, shockwaves rippled across the internet. The video appeared to show Yandy Smith in what looked like a private bedroom setting, speaking closely, too closely, with a man who clearly wasn't Mendeecees. The man's identity remained unclear, but it wasn't long before fans started speculating. Some claimed it was a business associate. Others were convinced it was someone she had once publicly denied having a past with. But what made the video more scandalous was the tone: soft laughter, flirtatious glances, and at one point, Yandy placing her hand gently on the man's chest. It was subtle, but in the court of public opinion, it screamed betrayal. Within hours, the video was being reposted everywhere. YouTube gossip channels pounced. Instagram blogs ran captions like "Yandy caught slipping" and "What's going on behind the scenes?" Comments flooded in. Some fans defended her, suggesting it was an old video or edited. Others were brutal, accusing her of being unfaithful, fake, and manipulative. Mendeecees, silent through the chaos, posted nothing on his story. No response. No denial, just a black screen. But behind the scenes, sources say he was livid. One close friend of the couple said, "He didn't even speak. He just stared at his phone, then stormed out the room. Nobody dared stop him." The real eruption happened the next day. A second video, completely different from the first, leaked online. This one wasn't blurry. It was clear, time-stamped, and obviously taken from inside the couple's home. Security camera footage. It showed Mendeecees walking into what looked like the kitchen, slamming the door behind him, phone in hand. Yandy followed him in, trying to explain herself. No audio, but body language said everything. She reached for his arm. He pulled away violently. He started pacing, visibly shouting. At one point, he picked up a glass and smashed it against the wall. Yandy flinched. Then came the moment that would stop the internet cold. He turned, raised his hand, and in a single flash, struck her across the face. She stumbled back, clutching her cheek, and then collapsed to the floor, sobbing. He stood frozen for a moment, as if realizing what he had just done, before storming out of the frame. That video spread like wildfire. Within minutes, every gossip outlet picked it up. TMZ, The Shade Room, even national media outlets were reporting on it. The hashtags #JusticeForYandy and #CancelMendeecees began trending. Fans who had just been speculating about cheating were now furious over domestic violence. The comment sections turned from gossip to outrage. But as always, not everyone believed what they saw. Some fans claimed the video looked edited. They pointed out that there was no audio, no actual confirmation that the hit was as hard as it seemed. A few even accused Yandy of leaking the footage herself for clout, to distract from the original clip. But those voices were few. The overwhelming majority were disgusted. Family members started reacting. Yandy's cousin posted a vague tweet. "You put your hands on the wrong one this time. We're not staying silent." A former castmate of Mendeecees from Love and Hip Hop went live and said, "I've known him for years. Never seen him like this. If that's real, he's done." But it wasn't just the public. The couple's own children were reportedly home when the incident happened. One source close to the family said Yandy's oldest daughter heard the yelling and locked herself in the room crying. Another said Mendeecees later tried to apologize, but the damage was done. Producers from Love and Hip Hop remained silent, but insiders hinted that talks were already happening behind closed doors. Would Mendeecees be dropped from the show? Would they keep filming? No one knew for sure, but everyone knew the brand couldn't afford this kind of controversy. Meanwhile, Yandy went completely dark. No Instagram story, no Twitter posts, no statements, just silence. Some fans said they spotted her leaving their home with a suitcase and a friend. Others claimed she was seen entering a hotel downtown under an alias. Whether true or not, one thing was certain: she had left. A small update came from someone claiming to be her assistant, who DM'd a gossip page anonymously saying, "She's shaken up. She's not ready to talk. She's focusing on the kids." The page later posted a blurred-out screenshot of a FaceTime call where Yandy's face appeared slightly bruised. Fans zoomed in, analyzed, compared old photos. Some believed it, some didn't. But the image was enough to trigger even more outrage, especially from women who had followed Yandy for years and saw her as a strong, independent voice for justice. The emotional impact on fans was intense. "I used to look up to them," one follower commented on Instagram. "This is heartbreaking. I thought they were the real deal." Another posted, "If he really hit her, that's it for me. No more excuses. We gotta protect our women, even the famous ones." Yet another wrote, "Yandy always held him down. Through jail, through everything. And this is how she gets repaid." As the internet flooded with sympathy, anger, and confusion, one detail kept returning to the surface: the first video. The one that started it all. Many fans couldn't ignore the connection between that private clip leaking and Mendeecees' reaction. Was it staged to get a rise out of him? Was it really a betrayal? Or was it something far more complicated? That's when things took another unexpected turn. An anonymous account appeared online, claiming to be someone who had worked in the same circle as the man in the video with Yandy. The account posted a cryptic message: "Y'all don't even know half of what goes on behind those doors. That wasn't cheating, that was revenge." The post went viral immediately. Fans began speculating that Yandy had leaked her own clip as a way to get back at Mendeecees for something he did, something we didn't know yet. Suddenly, the narrative shifted again. Was Yandy the victim of a slap, or the mastermind of a much bigger, darker plan? And just when things couldn't get any more twisted, a third video began circulating, supposedly showing Yandy and the mystery man arguing in a hotel hallway just a day before the leaked video surfaced. In that clip, Yandy looks angry, not flirty. She's yelling at the man. He tries to walk away. She follows, and then the video cuts off. Fans were more confused than ever. Was it a lover's quarrel, a setup, a decoy? And where was Mendeecees now? According to unconfirmed sources, he had gone completely off the grid. Some say he left town. Others claim he's still in the city but avoiding public places. What's clear is, he hasn't said a word. No apology, no denial, nothing. But silence speaks volumes. The story wasn't just about a slap anymore. It had evolved into something deeper, something uglier. Allegations, secrets, hidden truths, emotional damage. And fans, they weren't going anywhere. They wanted answers. They wanted accountability. And they wanted to know, what the hell happened in that house? And what's coming next? As the internet continued to spiral, desperate for answers, Mendeecees finally broke his silence, sort of. Late that night, he posted a black and white photo of himself on Instagram, standing alone with his back to the camera. The caption simply read, Don't believe everything you see. Silence don't mean guilt. That post did not go over well. Within minutes, fans flooded the comments. Silence also doesn't mean innocence. You put your hands on her and you're the victim now. Tell your side then, or just disappear. But some stood by him, insisting that the video of him hitting Yandy was fake. A few even suggested she edited the footage to look like abuse. These women know how to manipulate, one commenter wrote. Another added, he's been loyal all this time. She tried to embarrass him and now she's playing the victim. The internet was divided, but behind the scenes, things were spiraling fast. Insiders claimed Love and Hip Hop's executive producers were panicking. This wasn't just a cheating scandal, it was a potential lawsuit. They had to act fast. The network reportedly contacted both Mendeecees and Yandy's reps and told them filming was on pause indefinitely. Cameras would only roll again if the situation could be salvaged or explained in a way that wouldn't destroy the brand. Meanwhile, Yandy remained in hiding, but one of her close friends couldn't stay quiet. She took to her own IG Live and said, "Y'all don't even know half of it. That man's been disrespecting her for months. That slap? That wasn't the beginning, that was the breaking point." According to her, Yandy and Mendeecees had been having issues for a while. Not just the usual reality TV, drama, real-life tension. She said Yandy felt suffocated. That she was tired of being the one holding everything down while Mendeecees kept secrets. She told me last month that she didn't trust him anymore, a friend claimed. He was out late, lying about where he was, acting cold at home. She felt like something was going on. And then came the bombshell. Screenshots surfaced. DMs between Mendeecees and a woman whose name was blurred out. The messages were flirty, explicit, and dated 2 weeks ago. In one message, the woman asked, "When can I see you again?" Mendeecees replied, "Whenever she ain't around. You already know how we do." The internet exploded again. Fans who were blaming Yandy began to switch sides. Now it makes sense why she was talking to another man. So he cheated first. She's the victim twice. But the most disturbing part, the woman in the DMs looked shockingly similar to the mystery man's sister. That's right, fans began doing deep dives, finding old pictures, matching features. Suddenly, the entire situation looked like a twisted web of betrayals and revenge. And guess who entered the conversation next? Mama D. Yes, Scrappy's mom, known for her loud mouth and messy energy, posted a cryptic video where she sipped tea and said, "When you raise a boy and not a man, don't be surprised when he acts like a little boy. Yandy baby, keep your crown on." Fans knew immediately who she was talking about. Then came the fourth video. This one was different. It wasn't leaked. It was released by Yandy herself. She posted it to her Instagram with the caption, "This is my truth. I stayed silent long enough." The video was emotional, raw, and unedited. She sat in front of the camera, no makeup, tear-stained cheeks, and said, "I never wanted to share this publicly. I didn't want to humiliate my husband, the father of my children. But after the things I've seen, the way people twisted the narrative, I can't be quiet anymore." She then went on to describe months of emotional abuse, silent treatment, gaslighting, and controlling behavior. She claimed Mendeecees had changed after his last prison stint, becoming cold, paranoid, and obsessed with being respected. "He stopped seeing me as his partner and started seeing me as his competition," she said, voice cracking. "I supported him through everything. I waited for him. I stayed loyal, but he didn't respect me. He didn't protect me. And that night, he snapped, and now I'm the one cleaning up the mess." The most powerful moment was when she added, "And for those of you asking about the other video, the man in that clip is someone who's helped me build my business. Nothing more. It was old footage. We were laughing about a deal we closed, but I guess some people only see what they want to see." That final line hit hard. The comments were flooded with support. "We believe you. Stay strong, queen. He doesn't deserve you." But not everyone bought it. Later that day, a now-deleted post appeared on a gossip page from someone claiming to be Mendeecees' cousin. The post read, "I saw the video. That slap was real, but she pushed him to it. She humiliated him in public and kept throwing it in his face. Not saying it's right, but let's not pretend she's innocent." Once again, the internet erupted into chaos. Arguments filled the comments. People were choosing sides. Team Yandy, Team Mendeecees, Team They Both Toxic. Even former cast members from Love and Hip Hop began chiming in. One said, "It's crazy what people will do for sympathy when cameras stop rolling." Another posted, "Some relationships look perfect online, but behind closed doors, it's war." Then came the final twist of the night. A police report was leaked. According to documents obtained by an anonymous tipster, someone had called 911 from Yandy and Mendeecees' home on the night of the altercation. The report said a domestic disturbance was reported and that the woman had visible bruises. However, no arrest was made because the victim refused to press charges. That detail, it changed everything. Why didn't she press charges? Was she scared? Was she protecting him? Or was there more we didn't know? Once again, fans were left confused, hurt, and emotionally invested in a situation that now felt less like a reality TV scandal and more like a real-life tragedy. And just when it felt like things had reached their peak, Yandy posted again. This time, it was just a photo of her with her kids, smiling softly, the caption reading, "We will be okay. We always are." People began reading into it. This a sign she was moving on? That she had left him for good? Or was it another smokescreen to calm the storm while chaos brewed behind the scenes? One thing was clear, this wasn't over, because Mendeecees hadn't told his side of the story yet. And knowing him, he wouldn't stay quiet for long. Just when fans thought Yandy had taken the final word, Mendeecees decided he had enough. 2 days after Yandy's emotional video and the leaked police report rocked the internet, Mendeecees went live. Not a post, not a story, a full-blown hour-long IG live. And over 150,000 people tuned in within minutes. He started the stream with a deep breath, eyes low, tension thick in the air. The room was dimly lit, and he was clearly alone. No entourage, no distractions, just him and the camera. "I ain't the kind of man to put my business out there," he began, voice steady but cold. "But when people trying to paint me like a monster, when my own wife putting on a show for the world, nah, I can't let that slide." Fans braced themselves. Mendeecees didn't hold back. He began talking about their marriage, how the relationship had been falling apart for months. He claimed that Yandy had been distant, secretive, and obsessed with her image. "I tried to be a husband, a father, a man," he said, "but every time I turned around, she was on some fake street, and that video, that was just the final straw." According to him, the video wasn't just a private moment being leaked. He alleged it was recorded intentionally, and that someone in Yandy's circle leaked it for clout. "She knew that camera was there," he said. "Don't let her act like some victim. She'd been playing this game long before that video hit the net." The comments section exploded. Fans were torn, some furious, others confused, and many simply stunned. Mendeecees then addressed the real reason he lashed out, admitting that yes, there was a moment where he lost control. "I ain't proud of it," he confessed, "but I was hurt. I was betrayed. And yeah, I threw that phone. I said some stuff I shouldn't have said, but I ain't never lay hands on her the way y'all think." That story? That report? Cap? He claimed the abuse accusations were part of a larger narrative being pushed by people trying to destroy him, people who didn't want to see him win. But just as the internet began debating whether to believe him, Yandy joined the live. It was unplanned, chaotic, and completely raw. 1 second he was speaking his truth. The next, a request popped up on screen. "At Yandy Smith wants to join your live." He hesitated. The comments went insane. "XTCPT here. Let her speak. It's about to get real." And he did. The screen split in two. Yandy appeared, clearly furious. eyes puffy like she'd been crying for hours. "You really gon' sit here and lie to the people like that?" She snapped the second her face appeared. Mendeecees raised his eyebrows, keeping his tone cool. "Lie? You out here acting like you ain't the one who started all this mess." "You're deflecting," she shot back. "You hurt me. You scared our kids. That wasn't a thrown phone. You came at me, and you know it. Then why you still in that house?" He countered. "Why you go live in the same place where you claim you ain't safe? Miss me with that fake drama." Fans could barely keep up. Thousands of comments per second flooded in. It was the most public, painful breakdown of their relationship anyone had ever seen. Yandy began tearing up. "You embarrassed me. You humiliated me. And now you wanna blame me for being violated twice. Once in private, and now again on camera." Mendeecees looked away. There was a brief silence before he said, "You embarrassed yourself, Yandy. You made choices. You played with fire. Now the world's watching you burn." That line hit hard. Yandy stared at him in disbelief, then disconnected from the live. The stream ended moments later, leaving fans stunned and divided. Within hours, reaction videos, breakdowns, and TikTok theories flooded social media. Everyone had an opinion. Some sided with Mendeecees, calling Yandy manipulative and a clout chaser. Others were firmly Team Yandy, labeling Mendeecees a gaslighter and abuser trying to play victim. But the biggest shock came not from the couple themselves, but from someone unexpected: Infinity. The young woman Yandy once took in as her daughter, who had been quiet throughout the drama, suddenly broke her silence with a cryptic post that simply read, "Told y'all." The internet went wild. People started digging into old clips, old tweets, old interviews, trying to piece together every moment from their past that might have hinted at this implosion. And then Infinity followed it up with a story that said, "I was quiet when they lied on me, but not anymore." Within minutes, speculation exploded. Had Infinity seen things no one else did? Was she hinting that Yandy wasn't the innocent victim she claimed to be? Or was she suggesting Mendeecees had a darker side no one truly knew? Then, just as things began cooling off again, another twist hit the internet like a freight train. Someone leaked an extended version of the original clip. This new footage, blurred and muted but clearly authentic, showed more than just a fight. It captured a moment of chaos: a door slamming, screaming, something breaking, a figure rushing out, and most chilling of all, a child crying in the background. No audio was clear, but the visuals were enough to reignite the firestorm. Media outlets jumped in. Yandy and Mendeecees, what really happened that night, was plastered across thumbnails everywhere. TM's The Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked. Everyone wanted a piece. CPS was now allegedly involved. Rumors swirled that officials were called to do a welfare check on the children after the leaked footage showed signs of potential trauma. Both parties remained silent for a full day. No posts, no lives, no statements, just eerie silence while the internet tore itself apart trying to figure out what would happen next. Fans begged for answers. Comment sections were flooded. "We are kids? Is Yandy okay? Did Mendeecees get arrested again?" Nobody knew. But one thing was certain: whatever had happened in that house had spiraled far beyond a simple argument. And if the rumors were true, more than just reputations were now on the line. Family, custody, careers, everything. And just when the dust seemed like it might settle, Yandy's brother posted something that set the entire internet back on fire. Yandy's brother, Marcus, who rarely ever speaks publicly, took to Instagram and posted a grainy photo of a hospital hallway with the caption, "You mess with one, you messed with all. She's safe now." Fans lost their minds. Theories exploded. Was Yandy hospitalized? Had the situation escalated even further behind the scenes? Was Marcus confirming that something truly violent had gone down? Within minutes, media outlets picked it up, twisting Marcus's words into headlines like, "Yandy hospitalized after domestic violence incident, family confirms," and "Marcus Smith breaks silence. She's safe now" sparks alarming rumors. While Marcus didn't post again, that one cryptic caption was enough to send the situation spiraling. Reporters tried reaching out to both Yandy and Mendeecees for comment, but neither responded. Then, an anonymous tipster sent a voice recording to a gossip blog. The recording allegedly featured a phone call between Mendeecees and a close friend, in which he admitted, "Man, I just snapped. I ain't never meant to go that far, but I was tired of all the games. She crossed the line, bro." Though the audio was unverified, the voice sounded eerily similar, and fans were convinced it was real. Suddenly, support for Mendeecees started to crumble. Public opinion turned sharply. Hashtags like #ProtectYandy and #JusticeForYandy started trending. Feminist groups and DV advocates began issuing statements, demanding that the network pull any remaining projects involving Mendeecees. He was scheduled to appear in a new reality series, but the network went silent, and rumors suggested his scenes had been quietly scrapped. Meanwhile, leaked DMs between a producer and an intern showed that producers were in panic mode. "This is bad. Real bad," one message read. "We need to distance ourselves before it tanks the whole show." But even as the industry backed away, Mendeecees didn't stop. He reappeared on Instagram again, this time with his lawyer, who issued a flat denial of all allegations. "My client never assaulted anyone. The footage you've seen has been doctored. We have proof." The lawyer promised to sue several gossip pages for defamation. Still, public trust had already been broken. Then came another bombshell. Security camera footage from a neighbor's Ring camera was leaked. In it, you could see Yandy running barefoot from the house, holding her phone, visibly distraught. Moments later, Mendeecees exited, yelling something unintelligible, then stopping when he noticed the camera. He turned back, slamming the door. Though no direct physical contact was shown, the body language and desperation were enough to set the internet ablaze once more. Fans who had been on the fence now began rallying harder for Yandy, saying the emotional trauma was clear, even if physical violence couldn't be proven. "Emotional abuse is real," they said. "Just look at her face. Look at her eyes. She was terrified." At the same time, clips of Mendeecees from old seasons of Love and Hip Hop resurfaced. Moments where he had gotten aggressive, dismissive, or controlling. Fans started saying the signs were there all along, that this wasn't new behavior. It had just never been caught so vividly. In the middle of this chaos, their son posted a heartbreaking video on TikTok. The boy, no older than 11 or 12, simply said, "I just want everyone to stop fighting. Please." He didn't mention names. He didn't cry. But the emotion in his eyes broke everyone's heart. The comments were filled with love and sorrow. "You didn't deserve this. Stay strong, little man. We see you." Yandy remained silent. Mendeecees deleted most of his posts. And then she finally spoke again. Yandy released a pre-recorded video statement titled, "For My Kids." In it, she didn't name names, didn't cry, didn't scream. Instead, she calmly explained that sometimes relationships that seem perfect from the outside are breaking from the inside. She said she had stayed silent not out of weakness, but out of fear for her children, for her reputation, and for her peace. She confirmed that she had left the home for good. "There will be no going back. I choose peace. I choose healing. And most of all, I choose my children." That video shattered records. Over 5 million views in 24 hours. Celebrities began reposting it. Taraji P. Henson, Keke Palmer, even Viola Davis shared it, applauding Yandy for her courage. "This is what strength looks like," one post read. Behind the scenes, court documents started surfacing. Reports showed that Yandy had filed for a restraining order, that the kids were being kept out of the house, that a custody battle was likely coming. And then, just when fans thought they'd seen it all, another woman entered the scene. An ex-girlfriend of Mendeecees from before he met Yandy went live and claimed she had also been intimidated by him years ago. "He never hit me," she clarified. But the mind games? The manipulation? That was real. She said she felt compelled to speak out because she saw herself in Yandy. Her live went viral. People were calling this an abuser's pattern. Meanwhile, Mendeecees' fan base dwindled. Brands dropped him. Podcast invitations were canceled. And the petition to remove him from all network shows crossed 300,000 signatures. Still, some diehard fans defended him. "You don't know the whole story," one commenter wrote. "He's being railroaded." Others weren't buying it. "Ain't nobody railroading a man who lets his wife run barefoot into the street crying," another fired back. As for the network, they finally broke their silence with a short statement. "We are aware of the disturbing allegations and have launched an internal review. We take all matters of abuse and misconduct seriously, but the damage have been done." Ratings for reruns featuring the couple plummeted, and fans started boycotting the show altogether. Rumors even suggested that new cast members were refusing to film until Mendeecees was officially removed. While nothing was confirmed, insiders hinted that a total rebrand was underway, and Yandy might even be offered a solo spin-off about rebuilding her life. Toward the end of the week, paparazzi spotted her leaving therapy with her daughter. She looked tired but focused. She waved briefly, said nothing. But her presence alone sent a message. She wasn't hiding. She was surviving. As for Mendeecees, sources said he had gone radio silent. No posts, no appearances, just silence. And yet, one last twist emerged. Someone from inside the production team allegedly leaked emails suggesting Mendeecees had been warned about his behavior months ago. That Yandy had tried to alert producers quietly but was told to keep it off camera. Those emails, if real, proved there had been warning signs. That this wasn't a sudden explosion. It was a slow burn the world ignored. And now, everyone was watching. What started as a viral clip has now erupted into one of the most shocking and heartbreaking chapters in reality TV history. The footage, the silence, the emotional fallout, it's all left fans reeling, questioning everything they thought they knew about Yandy and Mendeecees. The once-envied power couple now finds themselves at the center of a storm that shows no signs of calming. And while Yandy's quiet strength and public statement brought some closure, the bigger picture remains full of unanswered questions. Will Mendeecees finally address everything head-on, without hiding behind lawyers and PR teams? Will the network hold him accountable? What happens to the children caught in the middle? And most of all, can Yandy truly rebuild after such a public and personal betrayal? Fans everywhere are waiting, watching, and wondering what comes next. One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. The layers of drama, betrayal, silence, and survival have created a moment that won't be forgotten anytime soon. But now we want to hear from you. What do you believe really happened behind those closed doors? Was this the final straw in a long, troubled relationship, or is there even more we don't know? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't hold back. And if you want to stay updated as this story continues to unfold, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a single update. Because in the world of reality TV, the truth is never simple, and the drama is never done. Stay locked in. We'll be back with more.